Rings, the perfect tool for calisthenics, bodyweight strength, awesome for beginners all the way through to advanced. That's what I'm going to go through today. I'm going to go through the top exercises, the top drills that you can do using the rings. I'm going to start with the easy ones. We're going to progressively make them harder and harder until I reach my limit. So let's kick off with the easier ones first. Now, standard position for the rows. So round in the back, open the chest, touching the chest to the ring, trying to keep a good posture, shoulders back and down, and then back again for repetitions. If I want to make that harder, I walk my feet down, and I could keep going until I'm underneath the rings. Now, if I keep my knees bent, it's slightly easier. If I take the legs straight, it's much harder. I could elevate the feet as well. I could go to single arm. Now, single arm is really good for spinal mobility as well, especially with that thoracic, that upper back area. So start with the ring touching your chest, one hand on the strap, come down the strap, across the body, rotate, lean backwards, and then back up the strap again. Again, I can make that harder by going underneath, backwards, all the way up, back down again. I can make it harder again, single leg, single arm, rotating as we go. Push-ups, the opposite to the row, exactly the same type of movement though. Easier with the hands higher, harder with the hands lower, or you raise the feet like this. I'd kiss the rings together at the top, go all the way down as deep as you can, turning the rings till the ring touches the bicep or the shoulder, push all the way back up again. We can go to archer push-ups, so keeping one arm straight, going all the way down exactly the same as before, and then back up again. You just have to watch with these variations of the archers, so arm straight, arm bent, that when you push out to the side, this doesn't happen. The strap's going to slide. So if you are going to do these variations and you don't have a single point to anchor to, just wrap the strap around a few times and make sure that it can't slide. We then have the top support or ring support position. So holding here, shoulders back and down, chest open. Now with this one, we want to keep the palms by our sides and make sure that there's not movement like this. So keep it nice and tight. If that's too hard, grab a step or lower the rings and have a light toe assist. So same thing, pushing the arms into your side. You can just keep tippy toes on the floor, hold there for time, shoulders back and down. If it's easy, we can start to make it harder by going into an L sit. First with tuck, start to straighten the legs, and then see if you can straighten all the way. Same thing, keep the palms in by the side. Another variation to make it harder is to turn the hands out, still keeping the upper arm into your side, but see if you can rotate out in that position. Then we have the similar but the bent arm version to the bottom of the dip position. So now my biceps or my shoulders are touching the ring, keeping the arms by my side. I could have light toe assist, or I can come up into that position and hold. Now this is great if you're working towards dips, because this is obviously the bottom of the movement and that support position is the top of the movement. So with the dips, we start in that top position, we lower down to that bottom position, and then we push back up again. Now if that's too hard, you could isolate the movement, so do the holds at the top, the bottom, the slow eccentric, pause at the bottom, and then jump back up again. You could use band assist, so with this one I'm going to put the band through, loop it through, pull it down, and then just tuck this one over. You have to do a bit of a jump to get into it because your knees have got to go in the band. So jumping up, knees in the band there, normal support position, same as without the band, all the way down, touch at the bottom, and then the band's going to give you some assistance to come back up again. And obviously you can just decrease the thickness of the band, or you can increase the length of the band by letting more come through. You could also go toe assist throughout the movement, pop off at the top if you can, and then slowly down, light toes for the eccentric and the concentric. Now with a lower attachment point and longer straps, I'm going to go into bicep curls. So keep the body straight, keep the elbows nice and high, and then pull in close to your head and back again. You want to make it harder, go deeper. Turn around, do exactly the same for tricep extensions. Easier, harder. We then have the pull up and the chin up variations, so hanging on the rings. Now the cool thing with this is that the rings can turn, so I'm palms out now, but when I pull up, my rings come towards me and then I come back down again. Now we can progress like we did with the push-ups into archer variations. So I can have one arm straight, one arm bent, do like arches there. But again, you got to watch, this one likes to slide. If chin-ups are too hard, you can isolate again, break the movement apart, so you can just do the top section so I can jump up, step off a box, keep toes touching, hold that top support, do a slow eccentric down. I could have toe assist on a box, so I go all the way down, back up again. I could go band assist, and then 1 or 2 feet in the band. The band is just going to give you assistance up and down. We can do false grip chins, but if we're going to do false grip chins, we first need to warm up our false grip with false grip rows. So the false grip basically means that we're going to put a lot of pressure, a lot of weight on this part of the wrist, meaning that I can have my hand above the ring, my body below the ring, so when I do a transition, I can go from below to above. So to condition that grip and the skin, because the skin doesn't like it there, go into your false grip position, keep your chest touching the ring, find a good position, go backwards. As you go backwards, turn the hands out, so you can get to straight arms, but you're keeping that false grip position, and then pull in, chest touching, and back again. Now obviously same progressions as the normal row. I can take my feet in to make it harder if Rosie wasn't in the way, and I can take the feet backwards to make it easier. So just get lots of repetitions there. Don't worry about the intensity of the exercise until you condition this part really well. And then once we're ready, we can go from the row to the chin up again with the false grip position. So making sure you've got a strong false grip position. You could practice just holding in the position, which is good conditioning, at different heights at the top, the middle and the bottom. And then you can go for your eccentric and all the way back up again. Chalk or tape in that area can really help as well, as you'll tend to slip off a lot to start with. Now before we go into the direct muscle up work, let's just look at the straight arm strength. So straight arm strength, I can hold in this bottom position. So from a hang, pull myself all the way upside down to a German hang. Now that's pretty hard to start with for most people, so we can make it easier by first conditioning the inverted position, so upside down. So jumping into this position, ideally coming straight into a candle hold, coming back down again. Now if you find it too hard to go up that way, you can go up this way. So hands down, palms down on top of the rings, walk through, turn the hands over, walk backwards, hips high, get underneath the ring, step 1 leg up, step 2 up, get comfortable going in and out of that position, and then also step down 1 way, try and kick back that way. Once you've got some conditioning on both sides, play with being upside down. Now once we get comfortable there, we can play with coming down lower towards a front lever position, going back the other way towards a back lever position, and obviously we can just keep extending those positions out for the holds and the full skin the cat, which is going all the way around the rings. And then you can work all the way up to full front levers and full back levers. I have to watch the wall, can't do it that way. There. So stacks of progressions to open all the way out. Okay, then back to the strict muscle up work. So we're going to practice that false grip position. I'll put some tape on. I'll get a bit softer on the skin there because I'm not doing muscle ups as much as I used to. So in that position, we need to get comfortable with that top position, being in that strong false grip position. Just wait for Rosie to be quiet. Okay, top of the chin up, bottom of the dip. Go between the two. Now as I'm doing this, tracing the line of my pecs with my thumbs. So I'm not losing contact with the rings. I'm staying super close the whole time. So top of the chin up to bottom of the dip. You can then work on eccentrics, so starting in your top support position, coming to the bottom of the dip, coming round, bringing the hands in front, getting into your false grip position, top of the chin up, and then all the way down. Obviously you've got to work with what height you've got, what clearance, so you might have to go into an L-sit-like position. As you get closer to that muscle up, you can start playing around with partial range of movement. So you could do the top down partial, which is often called the yo-yo. So from this position, coming down into your false grip a little bit, back again, back up again. So we're just entering that transition. Elbows come down a touch, then back again. Obviously the lower you go with the elbows, the harder it's going to be, but the closer it is to the real thing. A real strong controlled yo-yo, I think, is harder than the real thing. Because with the real thing, the muscle up, you're pulling, momentum's going in one direction. As long as you go through that transition at the right time, that should be easier than going down, changing direction and going back up again. There's toe assist variations. So you could have toes on the box or toes on the floor, false grip position, hands turned out, turn in, top of the chin, rotate, up. Same thing, back down, but in reverse. And then there's other ways apart from toes to assist yourself. You can have a fun one on the rings with the band. So you basically make a seat to sit into, sit in the band, make sure you've got strong false grip, and then you just bounce out through the transition and up. You could have someone spot you, so lots of different ways, and then just keep testing that full movement until you have it all the way up. And then you can just keep bolting on top of that. Now there's things like L-sit to shoulder stand. So your L-sit position there or there, through to a shoulder stand position there, or straight legs. I can't go straight because of the ceiling, but you get the idea. Back to that position. Now with that type of exercise, I wouldn't learn that on the rings. I'd first build it on the P-bars first. So start in a safe position here, coming through to a tuck position there, and then back again. Have wall support there if you need it. Make sure someone spots you. To build the control, build the confidence first before taking it up on the rings. The P-bars are fantastic for working a lot of the ring skills, as they make things much easier because they're way more stable. And then certain skills together unlock other skills. So if we have that L-sit to shoulder stand and a muscle up, so there's my L-sit, come through to my shoulder stand, I can now go through the rings, false grip, and back up for a ring forward roll. Now obviously I need to have that strong false grip, I need to have that L-sit to shoulder stand, but it gets really cool when you can start to bolt things together. So you could do muscle up to L-sit to shoulder stand to forward roll, lower down, skin the cat, back lever, front lever, and so on. Now obviously that's really advanced, but looking at those earlier exercises, the rings are just good for everyone. They're great, they can go in your bag, you can take them when you travel, you can hang them over a tree, some goalposts. So I recommend everyone gets rings. If you have any questions, if there's anything I missed out, let me know down in the comments. If you're after programming for handstands, for rings, for calisthenic strength, check out my app, link is down in the description, and I'll speak to you next time.